Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Your Lord's provision is better and more lasting. He is saying, "What I have given you in the way of good news, prophethood, knowledge, satisfaction, patience, the guardianship of religion, and a firm support therein, all this is more fitting and appropriate than anything I have given to others." Please continue watching to find out more about Islamic Sufi teachings through the discourses of Shaykh Abdul Al-Qadir Al-Jilani. Assalamu alaikum means peace be upon you in Arabic, the official language of Yemen. I am Abdullah. The noble people of Yemen join your loving prayers that we care for all beings just as Allah cares for us. Al-Ghaus Al-Azam Shaykh Abdul Al-Qadir Al-Jilani was born in the year 1078 in the Persian province of Gilan, present-day Iran, to parents who were blessed with direct lineage to the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Shaykh Abdul Al-Qadir Al-Jilani left home at the age of 18 to seek higher knowledge of Islamic scriptures and law. Seeking a deeper connection with Allah, he then studied with Sufi instructors Sheikh Abu Khair Hamad ad-Dabas and Sheikh Abu Sa'id al-Mukharami. For the next few years, Sheikh Abdul Al-Qadir Al-Jilani renounced everyday life to practice spiritually in the desert regions of Iraq. After returning to Baghdad, he began to write and lecture. Sheikh Abdul Al-Qadir Al-Jilani became known as a reviver of the religion due to his continuous reaffirmation of traditional Islamic teachings. His talks were immensely popular and were often held outdoors because so many people gathered to hear them. Among the main themes of his talks was the spiritual upliftment that comes from conquering one's ego to submit to God's will. Today, we will share selections from one of Sheikh Abdul Al-Qadir Al-Jilani's best-known works, Revelations of the Unseen. 8th Discourse on Drawing Near to Allah. The Shaykh, may Allah be well pleased with him and grant him contentment, said, "When you are in a particular condition, do not seek to exchange it for another, whether higher or lower. If you are at the gate of the king's palace, therefore do not seek admittance to the palace itself until you are obliged to enter under compulsion and not of your own accord. By compulsion, I mean a stern, insistently repeated command. Do not content yourself with mere permission to enter, since this may be just a trick and deception on the king's part. You should rather wait patiently until you are compelled to go in, so that your entry into the palace will be through sheer coercion and gracious favor from the king. Then, since the action is the king's own, he will not chastise you for it. If any punishment is meted out to you, it will only be due to your wrong motivation, greed, impatience, uncouthness, and discontentment with the situation in which you have been placed. When you do gain an entree to the palace, you must therefore bow your head in silence, keep your eyes modestly downcast, and mind your manners as you perform the tasks and services assigned to you without seeking promotion to the highest summit. Consider the words of Allah. Almighty and glorious is He. Strain not your eyes toward that which we have given for some pairs among them to enjoy, the flower of this world's life, that we may thereby put them to the test. Your Lord's provision is better and more lasting. This is an admonition by which He instructs His chosen prophet, Allah bless him and give him peace, regarding attention to one's present state and contentment with gifts received. To paraphrase his words, your Lord's provision is better and more lasting. He is saying, what I have given you in the way of good news, prophethood, knowledge, satisfaction, patience, the guardianship of religion, and a firm support therein. All this is more fitting and appropriate than anything I have given to others. Thus, all good lies in due attention to one's existing condition, in being content with it, and ceasing to hanker after alternatives, for it can only be that something is yours by lot, or is destined for another, unless it belongs to nobody and Allah has created it only as a trial. If it is destined for you, it will come to you like it or not. Any display of unseemly conduct and greed in its pursuit would therefore be improper on your part, with nothing in knowledge or reason to command it. If it is destined for somebody else, spare yourself the futile effort of chasing something which you cannot get and which will never come your way. If it is only a trial not destined to belong to anyone at all, how could an intelligent person find it worth his while to pursue such a thing and seek to acquire it for himself? Thus it is proven that all good and safety lie in properly attending to one's present state. When you are promoted to the upstairs room and then to the roof, you must observe all the properties of quiet and polite behavior we have already mentioned. In fact, you should redouble your efforts in that regard, because you are now closer to the king and nearer to danger. So do not wish for a change of state, whether by promotion or demotion, and desire neither permanence and continuity, nor alteration in your existing condition. You should have no self-willed option whatsoever, since that would amount to ingratitude for present blessings, and ingratitude brings disgrace upon him who is guilty thereof in this world and the hereafter. Let your conduct always be as we have told you, until you are promoted to a position which will become a permanent station for you, from which you will not be removed. You will then recognize it as a gift, self-explanatory and self-evident, so cling to it and do not let go. Ordinary saints have changeable states, while permanent stations belong to the Abdal, Allah's saints. Allah is in charge of your guidance. 9th Discourse on Disclosure and Contemplation. The Shaikh, may Allah be well pleased with him and grant him contentment, said, to saints and Abdal, Allah's saints, are disclosed such workings of Allah as baffle the mind and defy all customs and conventions. They are of two kinds, divine majesty, Jalal, and divine beauty, Jamal. Divine majesty and sublimity give rise to disconcerting fear and disquieting dread, with such a mighty impact on the heart that the effects become apparent in the physical body. Thus it is related of the Prophet, Allah bless him and give him peace, that from his breast during prayer one could hear a humming sound like the simmering of a cooking pot, due to the intensity of his fear, because of his vision of the majesty of Allah. Almighty and glorious is He, and the divine sublimity that was revealed to him. Similar experiences are attributed to Abraham, the special friend of the All-Merciful, on him be the blessings of Allah, and to Umar al-Faruq, may Allah be well pleased with him. As for direct contemplation of the divine beauty, that is an experience in which hearts are adorned with light and joy and gracious favors, sweet words and friendly conversation, glad tidings of tremendous gifts and lofty stations, and a foretaste from him of how all their affairs must in the end return to Allah. Almighty and glorious is He, for the pen ran dry from allotting their destinies in times primordial. This is a favor from Him and a mercy and a confirmation for them in this world until the attainment of the final term, that is the time appointed. It is granted lest they exceed the bounds of love through sheer intensity of longing for Allah. Exalted is He, so that their resolution fails and they perish, or lose the strength to stand in servitude until there comes to them the certainty which is death. He treats them like this out of kindness and mercy, as a therapy, and to train and gently coax their hearts. He is all-wise, all-knowing. He is gentle with them, most kind, most merciful. This explains why it is related of the Prophet, Allah bless him and give him peace, that he used to say to Bilal the Muezzin, may Allah be well pleased with him, comfort us, O Bilal, with the signal Iqama, so that we may enter the prayer, to enjoy the state of contemplation we have been discussing. This is why he said, the cooling of my eyes has been reposed in the prayer, Salat. Angelic viewers, we appreciate your presence for today's Words of Wisdom. Coming up next is The Millennium Eve with Supreme Master Qinghai, Vegan, Part 8 of 9, right after noteworthy news, here on Supreme Master Television. May the purity of your spirit be cherished always, in Allah's wondrous grace.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Műsoraink sok nyelvet tartalmaznak. Kérjük, tekintse meg itt suprememastertv.com/schedule és suprememastertv.com/WOW.